2026 and veganism. How do we feel about it? It's on a downtrend.
I expected it to be a lot bigger by now. It seemed like everybody understood that it made sense, and it was just a matter of time before it became like universally adopted and like
accepted, at least.
Yeah.
That was my whole thing too, right? So when I started, I went vegan as an experiment just to try it out. And what I found was, one, how much better I felt, and two, this was the future. Like, everyone's going to try every diet because people, all they want to do is lose weight. And this is the most effective way to lose weight. Listen, if you want to talk about meat being healthy, most meat people eat isn't healthy. Most meat people eat is KFC, McDonald's, burgers. It's not like, oh, I'm getting grass-fed, blah, 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 every day. You're eating like a normal human being. And if you're eating like a normal human being versus someone who eats more vegetables, not even just vegetables, just not the heavy stuff like the meat, the eggs, the things that really mess up your system if you overdo it, your body will just perform better. It's natural. It's just what happens. So I was like, okay, like once people try this and see how good it is, they're going to just stick with it. I figured at least everyone would try it as a diet to lose weight, because people try so many crazy things. You know, in the 90s, it was the cabbage soup diet, which my mom did, and it was just a week of the house stinking. So I figure if people are willing to try so many crazy things, why wouldn't they try this? And that was the future I saw. Little did I know how much resistance there would be, how much people love their meat. I would argue it's an addiction because it's hard to get in nature. So when you get it, you get a nice little boost, whatever it does to you, because it is so hard to get and it is rewarding. But you're not supposed to have it every single day. Up until 200 years ago, let's call it. You weren't able to eat a piece of a cow every day. You used your cow as a farmhand. It helped you do what you needed to do in life. You had some dairy from it. You just weren't eating a chicken breakfast, lunch, dinner. You weren't eating meat breakfast, lunch, dinner. Maybe once a day, a glass of milk was probably good for you back then. It was right from the cow that you're feeding right and treating right. So you'd have it and you'd have the energy for the day. I understand that 100%. But we're so far away from that system. But that's just how you survived back then. And that being said, I think eating meat that often is excess, way excess.
Sure.
I think realistically, the human body should be processing meat. Big animals a couple times a month, smaller animals maybe once or twice a week, like a chicken that you're able to find and kill, or a rabbit. And then the thing is, people go to carnivore. Let's say carnivore works. Let's say carnivore works as instructed and veganism works as instructed. Both sides are 100% correct. I'm not going to argue about that. I've been vegan for 13 years. Would you rather eat any vegetable under the sun or chicken, steak, salmon, eggs, which sound great, but for 13 years straight, I don't think it's as sustainable as veganism.
Does it exclude all plants?
That's the whole thing. You're only eating meat. It's carnivore, not omnivore. You're going to eat meat every day? Can you even season it? I don't even know if those are the rules, but you can't put asparagus next to it. That sounds extremely boring. They can't make meat taste like vegetables, but we can make vegetables taste like meat. And the thing that happened to veganism also, from a non-vegan standpoint, you eat meat often. So it's like you're vegan, so you're eating the fake meat the way I eat meat. But that's not the case. I haven't had a Beyond Burger in probably a year. Veganism is not about the vegan meats.
It's almost like in order for something to be vegan, it has to be like out of its way to be vegan, instead of realizing that a lot of things are just vegan. There is a lot of like the hidden things in food. You would think like, well, there's no reason for like a chip to be not vegan, but apparently that buttermilk powder for that mouthfeel, and not enough people object.
Doesn't matter to most people that there's a milk fat solid in their Dorito. All I really wanted for the vegan industry, if we can get to the point where people will go out for Chinese, Indian, Italian, vegan, that'll catapult the vegan industry. If it just got like that little, I'll take under Indonesian.
To an extent that occurs, that place Veggie Heaven in Teaneck or whatever is like a known place for a lot of people that are not just in the vegan community. That's an option for people that would, on another night, like have Mexican or something, and then, let's go to Veggie Heaven tonight. And I expected more of a ripple effect is from 11 Madison Park, which was already one of the finest dining establishments in the world, switched to completely plant-based. There was a little bit of fallout, like some people that are like, want like the real food, but enough people recognize that it's every bit as special of an experience. And I would have thought there would be a little bit more ripple effect from that, but...
Well, tragically, everything's going the opposite direction. Like, vegan institutions are closing down. Like, Sprig and Vine in New Hope just closed. And if you've ever been to New Hope and you're vegan, you've been to Sprig and Vine. 11 Madison Park, I believe, put meat back on the menu. Like, not just like new vegan places that opened like 3 years ago are closing, places that have been around forever are closing. And that doesn't look good for the state of veganism in general. Also, a lot of restaurants are closing, but it's definitely more prominent in the vegan community. It might get bad enough where like there just aren't vegan spots to go to anymore. What I think did them in was restaurants having vegan options. It can be good for the state of society in general, but it's not good to the vegan business owner, because then what happens is it's my birthday. I want to go to Kaya's Kitchen in Belmar. Oh, I don't want to go. Don't make me eat that vegan crap. Vinny's Pizza down the street. They have an Impossible Burger. All right, fine, let's go there. And that's what did it in for these vegan places. Because unless you're like a vegan couple, if you're going somewhere as a family, you're not going to a vegan spot.
But on the flip side of that, like if you want something vegan from this restaurant, it's like, yeah, you can order this and just remove this, and then that will make it vegan. Like they'll have something a little bit more like deliberate on the menu that's still like a good option. I don't know.
It's great for a vegan. It's great for a normal vegan eating out, because now you have an option basically anywhere. The vegan business are hurt, but also there's more options for vegans to eat. They don't know like the protocol, right? So like the fries could be vegan, but they're fried in the same oil as the calamari, which I used to not care about until it really hit me that when the fries taste like calamari, it's because the fat from the calamari got in my fries. So essentially, it's just the fat off the animal that's now in my fry. People say, oh, you're picky. And what people don't get too is like, oh, there's cheese on the pizza, just take the cheese off. I don't know. I don't know what the equivalent would be. Would you eat food with hair in your food is just the baseline. All right, now would you eat food if some woman just stood over it and just went, oh, just scoot that off. Scoot it off the pizza. You can eat it. Would you still eat the pizza, or would you kind of be like, can I have a pizza without cheese?
Somebody that is okay with eating cheese made with cow's milk doesn't see it.
No, they don't see it at all. They see a package in a grocery store. I'm not an activist-y type of vegan. I'm more of a, this is what I'm doing, if you want to join me, cool, type vegan. But what I do think is, before someone reaches into the refrigerator to grab cheese, let's say, they have to watch like a 5-second clip before the door opens of just like where that came from. Not even the torturous part of it, just like some machine just like doing what it does to a cow for 5 seconds, and then you can open the door and grab the cheese.
So like a warning label like on cigarettes?
Maybe you'd think twice.
That probably wouldn't be good for the dairy industry.
So why would they do it?
Maybe it seemed like there was like this wave coming, and I don't feel it or see it at all anymore. And a lot of the times there is some sort of like dark underbelly of politics and lobbying that is responsible for propaganda we are being exposed to. Because like kids today, and unless your algorithm is highly geared towards a plant-based lifestyle or something like that, there's not people promoting it. Like, it seems like it's generally accepted that we eat animal products, but like similar to like how slavery was totally fine, like it was a pretty normal thing. You have many slaves if you have a plantation, but like I thought that we were getting to a place where people were going to start seeing how wrong it is, and I don't think we're anywhere near that.
Yeah, I mean, it's ironic, right? Because like you talk to like a normal person or whatever, and they're like, this plant-based agenda, this vegan thing, they're trying to take away our meat. And it's like, we're like 1% of the population down here. Whereas you can't turn on the TV without getting a cottage cheese commercial. Dollop of Daisy, I hear the tune of it is just playing in my head 24/7. I wish there was vegan propaganda. I wish that was the push. You could see that there's a much harder push towards carnivore than there is towards veganism. Maybe they want you sick and they understand that. And eating too much meat does cause all these problems. Maybe carnivore is the best thing for you, but that's only if you're 100% loyal to it, all right? People who are carnivore, I bet they're sneaking in the carb and getting a little bit here and there. That it's when you mix the two things. It's when you're either going the whole way that way or you're going the whole way that way. You have to stick to it. You can be in the middle. You can be an omnivore, and that's one thing. But if you're carnivore, it's something you got to stick to. If you're vegan, you can slack, for lack of a better word, and have meat, and it's not going to make the veganism worse, right? Whereas if you crack on keto, it's going to, all right, we're going back this way, and then, all right, we're going back this way. Not to mention the lack of fiber. Fiber is really important for you.
I don't know enough about like the carnivore diet, execute it the right way, but I especially like young men, like for their physique, there's this correlation in order to
be strong, you need meat.
muscular. Yeah, you gotta eat
I
meat.
don't think so. I don't know if like there's other things like micronutrients that help facilitate protein synthesis. It's got to be more than just protein equals protein, because seitan is a protein and gluten will mess you up. And then when people say, where do you get your protein from? I don't think protein is like, the purpose of life is to live long and be healthy. The purpose of it is to like live a long, healthy life. I think a vegan diet is much more tailored to that because sure, let's say meat provides muscle. It gets you big. How big are we supposed to be as humans? We're not meant to be big. We're meant to run. We're meant to move our bodies. Whatever it is we're supposed to do. The emphasis on protein is like maybe a bit too much in our society because it's aesthetically pleasing to look strong and muscular. I don't know how necessary it is if you're not trying to be a weightlifter.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's more about vanity than necessity. Like, there's so many good things that you can eat that are vegan. I mean, there were times that I definitely, like, specifically just avoiding all meats, and I was like, I would feel this, like, craving for some iron or something.
When you're first starting veganism, what I noticed was I wanted meat the same way I wanted a cigarette when I quit that. And I was wondering why it felt like an addiction. My hypothesis, again, is it was hard to get. So when you get it, you get that, whatever that drug is that your body likes. So the thing about it is, like, with veganism is people think you're either all in and you're all out. And I watched this video, this guy, Gary Yorfowski or whatever he is, Gary something. He's like a savior in the vegan community. And I thought it was AI or satire because his face was beet red and he was going, if you were once vegan and you're not vegan anymore, fuck you. You know what's happening to animals and you went back on them? Go fuck yourself. Getting mad at them, like horribly mad at these people. And I'm thinking, sure, that's a perspective to have. But at the same time, like, if they saw that video and that you said that to them because they had a burger or something, they're never coming back. Whereas for me, from Try Vegan, I would rather you slip up and have meat and then come back. 100%, 100,000,000%. I would rather you just eat less meat now that you're not vegan than fuck you for not being vegan.
What does he mean? Like, oh, you've defected now, your contributions to the vegan world are no longer good? It's counterintuitive.
I guess it's because he feels you know better, now you should do better, which is true, but at the same time, we're on Earth, we're all humans, like no one's perfect. People are going to slip up. Maybe someone wanted to go vegan again. Maybe they're like, oh man, I really liked how I felt, I want to try it again. And then they see this video, it's like, I mean, you could shame people into things, but it doesn't work too often. It's much easier to get bees with honey than vinegar. And that's my approach. My approach was never throwing paint on people's fur. My approach was, hey, you want a falafel? Oh, I didn't know vegan food could taste this good. That's much more what I'm trying to do than like create a barrier between me and you, a violent barrier. People go to vegan protests eating meat because vegans go into restaurants banging pots and pans while people are trying to enjoy dinner. It's just the other side of the same coin.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you push on something so hard. You create resistance. Maybe if that resistance wasn't there, people wouldn't have this aversion to veganism. They would think, oh, that person just doesn't want to harm animals. That's pretty cool. Rather than, that person's probably not going to like that I'm wearing leather. It's too far apart. That has been the purpose of Try Vegan, to be the other voice in that conversation that, hey, let's talk.
Instead of just laying it on thick, like you're an idiot if you don't do this. I'm better than you because this is what I do.
There are people who can't have dinner, Thanksgiving dinner with their family, Christmas dinner with their family because there's meat on the table. I'm vegan. I get it. But at the same time, like, you're going to not talk to your cousin, your aunt, your uncle, your kid, your parent because there's meat on the table. If that's how you want to live, if that's how devoted you are, but then you're not going to convince them to see your side. If you show up an amazing plate of vegan food and they try it, they're like, oh, this is all it is. And that's the introduction. Because when I went vegan, all it was I wanted to see how I felt. And then you learn about how the animals are treated, the environment, and this and that. It's kind of reinforcing. And that is another reason why I started Try Vegan, is because I saw so many avenues from people to get into it. It's like, you're an environmentalist? All right, come over here. You love your pet? You know, cows aren't that different from your dog? Come over here. You're trying to lose weight? Come over here. Like there's so many different ways to bring people into veganism that I just saw it as somewhat of an inevitable future. And then once those people try it, they'll be like, wow, I feel so much better. And even if they went back to not being vegan, they're a wiser consumer because of it. Especially if you don't hate them for going back. Then, they're more welcoming to be like, you know what? I really liked how I felt when I was vegan, rather than like, I don't want to be a vegan. Like, they're crazy people.
There could just be like small incremental improvements as well, like being open to veganism, and you all of a sudden realize that you kind of like oat milk more than you like regular milk anyway, and you kind of never really go back to regular milk because like you prefer oat milk or almond milk now, and like maybe it didn't change your entire lifestyle and philosophy, and you're not maybe still eat eggs or chicken or something, but like it would have a positive effect. And if little changes like that happened across the board, like it could be more beneficial than like a few people going all vegan.
I love that. The more vegan decisions people make, the better it is for vegans and everyone. This whole all in or all out thing, us against them, needs to stop. That's how it happens, like I think that's probably the only thing people will substitute is the dairy and only milk, because I can't see people stopping cheese. I can't see non-vegans eating a meat alternative. There's just no reason to. That's what happened with Beyond Meat. When they first came out and IPO'd and there was all this hype, everyone tried it. Non-vegans tried it. And it's like, okay, here we go. And then quickly, the market realized there weren't a lot of vegans and not every vegan has a burger every day. So it just went, and it's still valued at like $300 million. As someone who's been 11 years as a business, 13 years as a vegan, there's just not that much in it. What I've seen in the vegan industry is money and scale comes in, and the money and the scale happens first. And that is the downfall of every vegan company. They have an investment, they have hundreds of millions of dollars to play with. They think this thing is going to revolutionize everything. When they realize vegans are like 1% of the population, it just doesn't work. You're already bloated. You're so bloated. Like I said, as a vegan, I haven't had a Beyond Burger in a whole year. And I'm not like the healthiest vegan. I'm also not totally a junk food vegan. Dairying is the best plant-based meat. It's a chicken. And I'll have that 4 or 5 times a week. Not every meal of every day. So I hope they succeed. And they started that way. They were a smaller company that has a really good product and will get bigger and will get bigger. How big is the market? We don't know. But that's why these big vegan companies don't work, because you have to make a profit sometime, and there just isn't enough profit to be made to pay back an investment like that. For a company to invest $1 billion in a vegan anything, it's not going to work. It's just too much money to ever make back. Maybe a plant-based milk, maybe an oat milk, maybe an almond milk, maybe that might work. But even Silk grew organically. Like they grew from a smaller company that wasn't available in the 90s, and the boom happened and they got big. Oatly, they exploded around 2019 when the boom came. And then the bust came, and now they're bankrupt and all that stuff. So it makes me feel like I'm in the best position I can be in with a digital product that is scalable and no investor. I've been seeking an investment for pretty much most steps of the way. The food truck I was able to do by myself. I had both the trucks myself. The cafe, I was looking for an investor. The meal prep service, I was looking for an investor. Even this app, I was looking for an investor. Let's say an investor came and said, okay, your meal prep idea is great. We just need to scale it. Here's $1 million. Go out and do that. One, the amount of time, effort, energy, kitchen. You were there. You need equipment. You need people. You need a place. You need to be there. And it probably wouldn't have even happened. I probably would have just floundered by. Marketing budget would have been huge. But I probably would have continued to just break even. Same with the cafe. If someone said, here's $100,000 to open the cafe, well, look at what happened there. I mean, if you're not in a huge city that can sustain a vegan spot, it's just not happening. But now that I have this digital product, it's like I have a giant bucket and everyone who wants one can get it. Let's say the meal prep service worked. How would I get a customer and how would they get the product? All right. I start marketing. The customer sees my marketing and agrees to make a purchase. You ordered a family meal. So now, great. David ordered with me. I have to come up with a menu, first of all, that you ordered. Go to Restaurant Depot, pick up all the food, go to the kitchen, unload, get the staff. The staff comes in. We make the food. It takes a day or two. We get everything packaged the next day. The day after that, I have to ship. We load the boxes. They go out. And then all of a sudden, it's the middle of July, so your package arrives warm. It's stayed in transit for an extra day or two. The bag's expanded because there was hot air in there and whatever. So then I have to give you a refund. That's the process of making a profit in a meal prep service. So now fast forward to the vegan app by Try Vegan. The way it works is I market to you. You come across my post. I'm talking about the vegan app and how I used to not know if ingredients were vegan. Now I take a picture of the ingredients and it tells me if it's vegan or not. So you download the app. That's it. You are now a customer of Try Vegan. I didn't have to go to a kitchen. I didn't have to make a new menu. I didn't have to hire any staff. I don't need a warehouse in China. I don't need to create a product.
Having the digital product as like the floodgate, basically.
I have users speaking a different language to my app and it responding in that language. I didn't even know it could do that. And I didn't even need an investor. I thought I did for a while. I was like, I need an investor. This is a great idea. I had a great pitch deck and I had a great executive summary. And I was actually pitching investors. I've been Ubering this whole season and I had 3 people that I pitched. It was like it was the 90s and I had a demo tape that I was playing these people, but it was a business and I flipped open my laptop and said, hey, I'm taking you to the airport. Listen to my pitch deck and let me know what you think. That happened more than once.
We need to pause for a few. I got to drop off my sister down the street.
All right, you go. I'll talk to the people.
All right. She's got to be there by 5:30 minutes.
Is it only down the street?
It's 15 minutes.
It's cool. You go. I'll just hang out for a little bit.
Tabby might come back too.
Unless I just wait till you come back. I guess we'll only find out once I finish editing. Anyway, as I was saying, so back in November, I would have given anything to get that investor. I thought I needed an investor, and that was my only life raft. And then time went on. I'm pitching this idea to people and trying to get, any kind of investment that I could get. And I'm just not getting it. And the season kept going. And before I knew it, it was March. And I found a marketing team, Aptuitive. So I had a meeting with her early March. I'm like, things are going well. I can't wait to get this investor. And she challenges me and says, let's pretend the investor isn't coming. Let's pretend you're never getting $1 from anyone and work on your social media. Let's get the foundations going. Let's see what posts works. This way we have a foundation for what kind of ads we want to run. I go, okay, that makes sense. So she's willing to work with me while I get this thing off the ground. So there goes my whole marketing budget. And that really boiled down to all I need is enough to develop the premium features. The food truck season's coming up. Maybe I can start swinging that. And in that challenge of how do we market this thing with zero budget is how Try Vegan, the podcast, came to be. I thought to myself, I had a podcast in the past. I won't have a problem posting on social media anymore. It also helps me interact with other people who might appreciate this app. So that's how the podcast came to be. All that to say, I'm very happy I was able to get to this point without an investor. This way I have the freedom to think about it without being so profitable that an investment firm wants their return on it. Meaning, if it's not at 100,000 users, it's a fail.
You want the company?
Oh, yeah, I was just talking to myself out here. Come on out.
All right. I'll be back in a few.
Oh, Tabby, okay. Perfect timing.
It's getting chilly though.
Oh, I like how you can see it.
Yeah,
That's pretty
my
cool.
phone's cool, right? Is that wine?
It is.
Just make sure you're... Oh, shit. Is this on? Can you see? Oh, no. Has this not been recording? Oh, the battery died.